Good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Geshe Celon, and I am the lecturer of the Lama Institute for Higher Education. And today I'm going to speak about the concept of non-violence. The concept of non-violence is the practice of conduct that we can act or we cannot act when we engage in the relation with others. I'm going to show you the picture. This is the picture of the great Indian freedom fighter, Mahatma Gandhi. And many people believe he is the inventor of the practice of non-violence. Whereas I believe these ideas of non-violence, which is mainly derived from the Hindu textbook and the Buddhist canon that he has read, including the Dharmapada and other Theravada tradition that has translated in English version. And there is a proof. He often speaks one thing, that anger cannot be destroyed by anger. Anger is destroyed by love, which is the absence of anger. So that means negative emotions and the action that derives from the negative emotions must be eliminated, but we should not lose the compassion towards the persons. So that again means that he is making the distinction between the action and the actor. So that kind of ideas and that kind of statements you can see many times in the Buddhist textbooks, which is composed by the Indian ancient Nalanda masters. And the philosophy of non-violence, we Buddhism, we do not determine the non-violence based on the action and its nature. It determines based on the motivation and intention which creates the action. There are many cases the action derives out of compassion and the sense of caring other, but the nature of action seems very harmful. Even it is the act of killing, in some occasion it becomes the practice of non-violence. The act of violence is anything that gives the feeling of unpleasant directly or indirectly on other persons. Now, Buddha says in his sutra, and he says, my fellow monks and nuns who harm and commit the act of violence is not the practice of virtue. So Buddha said harming and the act of violence. And there is no any explanation, there is no any commentary which is composed by the Nalanda masters. But I'm going to give you two examples. First one is the Kadamba Lama, Tibetan Kadamba Lama. They used to pray, those who are committing an enormous negative karma, may these people live shorter life. So that kind of prayer makes other people shorter life. Of course, it is harmful to them, but it's not the act of violence. Because those Kadamba Lama, they think that those who are committing the huge negative karma, they are going to have a more problem in this life and this life. So out of compassion, they are praying such a prayer like that. And I'm going to give you another example is one of the Buddha's previous life. One of the Buddha's previous life, he killed his boss. He was assisting the guy, and he made such a well plan to kill the 500 merchants when they were shipping on the sea to do the business. And in order to save 500 people's life, in order to save 500 merchants' life, he had no option. He chose to kill his boss. So, killing is of course, harmful to that particular guy, but it's not the act of violence. Because that kind of action happens out of compassion. And when we speak about the non-violence, it has four stages. First one is the state of subject, and another one is the state of motivation, and the state of application in activity, and the state of completion. So when I come to the last one, and there is, I have noticed in the textbooks, and it has mentioned that, if I fight with you, if I fight with the guy, and I stab him, and he stabs me, and if he dies, if I die before he dies, then I'm not going to get the sin of killing other people. But that particular guy is going to get the sin of killing other people. So, why it is really weird to me, but there is no any explanation in the textbooks. So there is a, confusion there. There is a confusion there, and we are having a discussion on this point. Okay, then there are so many aspects